So Brian, tell me a little bit about the history of Fasterhouse.
Well, Jim and myself, Jim was my previous business partner, started the company in November 2002. We both had, I guess I'm going to call them regular jobs, and we kind of did real estate kind of on the side. It was both of our kind of our passions, what we really wanted to be doing full time. So we jumped ship in November 2002, started the company full time. At that time, it was just Jim and I. Jim's wife, Claire, came on board, trying to remember, just a few months after we started. And my wife, we had just had our youngest daughter was born right when we started the company. So my wife was kind of at home with her for a little bit. And so it was just kind of the four of us that started it, Jim and I full-time, and Claire and Debbie helping out wherever they could, and kind of just grew from there over time. I think we hired our first property manager in like 2004, and then we hired a couple buyers in the 2005, 2006 time frame, and the market went to heck, and things changed dramatically at that point, so we kind of reshuffled. Really, it kind of went back to just Jim and I and Claire and our one property manager, Nancy, for a couple of years there. Kind of while we regrouped, figured out what the heck the market was doing, and then we've kind of started to grow again here more recently, where we've hired a couple buyers, a marketing person. My wife's kind of taken over the property management side of the business. And we're just kind of growing one step at a time, having fun.
So when did you buy your first home?
With the business or without the business?
With the business.
First home would have been in probably November or December of 2002.
And do you remember how many homes you bought your first year as a business?
Well, I think we probably only bought one in 2002. 2003, I don't remember, but if I were going to guess, it was probably 5 or 6. Wasn't a lot.
All right. Grown from there. Very good. Tell me, you said you had a passion for real estate, which brought you into the company. Is that what keeps you here, or what keeps you in the business?
Yeah, I'm a real estate guy. This is my gig. I actually have a degree in aerospace engineering, but I did not like that, so I figured out what else I wanted to do, and I kind of stumbled onto real estate, and it's been my thing ever since. And I tell you, a good way to describe somebody that's passionate about real estate, and I've met quite a few of them, is, and this is what I do. Not only do I work the business here on a regular basis, but if we go on vacation, Debbie or the kids or whatever, they'll want to go to whatever the sightseeing thing is of the area. Like when we were in San Francisco last year, they wanted to go to the Golden Gate Bridge and go downtown, do those type of things. What I like to do is I like to go to the neighborhoods, and I like to look at the houses. I like to meet the people that, local real estate agents. I like to go to open houses. That's what I do. When we're in D.C., we went to Washington, D.C. for our family vacation the year before that. They go to the Capitol and stuff like that. I go to the neighborhoods. I like to look at the houses. So that's what a real estate guy does.
Very good. Tell me a little bit about the typical family that we help at Fasterhouse.
When I first got into this business, I kind of learned from a lot of the techniques that I knew of at the time, and back at that time, what the teachings that I heard and stuff were mostly geared around buying houses from like foreclosures or banks or things along those lines. And so that's what we did for the first couple of years. We'd kind of look for people that were late on their payments or things along those lines that hadn't taken care of the house, and that's where we bought houses for the first few years. And then I noticed I kept getting calls either from our Yellow Pages ad or from our website from families where their parents had either recently transitioned into a senior housing community or they had passed away, and they needed to sell the house, and they had the house was quite often hadn't been updated for 30 years, and it was had a lot of family belongings in the house, and the people that were dealing with the house either had their own families that they were dealing with, and they quite often were dealing with transitioning their parents into a senior living community or something along those lines. And I really found that those type of people were kind of become our niche. People that they just don't have the time to spruce the house up and sell it on the traditional real estate market, and they just need help because they got a lot going on in their lives, and the house hasn't been updated for a long time. So that's our standard client these days. Houses that have been owned in a family for quite a while, and they just haven't been updated.
Do you have any specific memories or knowledge of a family that was in this kind of situation that we really helped? And can you explain a little bit about a difference that it made for them? Like in terms of time or in terms of dollars, stress, whatever it might be?
Yeah. The biggest issue that most of the folks that I'm dealing with is the time and the ease factor. And I'll give you just a great example of a house we just looked at over the weekend. The person who owned the house had lived in it for, I don't know, 30 years or more, and her two daughters, one of them lives in Austin, Texas, and the other one lives in San Francisco, California. And the lady that owns the house can't take care of it herself any longer, and her husband has passed away. So the daughter that lived in Austin, Texas called us. She's in town for just a few days. She's trying to help transition her mom down to Texas so she can essentially take care of her. And they just don't have time to figure out how to spruce up a house in Maryland Heights, Missouri, which is where this house is, right here in the St. Louis area. And it's like I said, it's got years of belongings in it. So what we do is we help families like that. We help by providing them contacts for auctioneers to get rid of the contents. Goodwill and Habitat for Humanity for just donating items that don't really have a lot of value, and then just buying the house from them, and we take care of whatever is left. Quite often there's just some clothes or furniture or bags of stuff that don't have any value, but they just don't have anything they don't know how to get rid of it, so we just take care of that. We just take it to the dump. But we make the whole process of selling that house relatively quick and easy, and provide a fair price for doing that for them. And in this particular case, both the daughters were totally relieved after we talked to them, because that's what they needed, and we run into that a lot.
So in this particular case, if the daughters had kept the home, in addition to all the time they spent cleaning it out and trying to figure out where to go with things, if you had to estimate to get the house ready for the retail market, how much do you think they would have had to spend?
Well, that's big, because for us we are going to buy the house, and we are going to fix it up and sell it on the retail market, and we're probably going to spend somewhere in the neighborhood of $30,000 to do that. The big difference is this is what we do for a living every day, and most people don't. So they would probably spend a lot more than that, and it would just take up a ton of their time, and add on top of that the fact that a lot of the folks that we work with, like in this particular case, they don't live in the area. So can you imagine doing a rehab on a house where you don't even live in the area? And it's just overwhelming. And then they have regular jobs and families and everything back home. It's just something that isn't isn't really possible for them. So anyway, that's what we do. We provide a great service for that. We've been around doing it for over 10 years and have an A+ rating with the Better Business Bureau, and that's where my passion is. I like to help families like that.
Tell me about your vision for the future.
Vision for the future. Well, just keep doing what I'm doing. I mean, I really enjoy what I'm doing. So we got a great group of people here at Fasterhouse, a great team we put together. I am one of the buyers, but we have 3 other buyers here right at the moment that are equally passionate about helping folks that need to sell their house the quick and easy way for whatever reason. We find all kinds of reasons why people need to sell their house, but whatever that reason is, we can help, and just keep helping people in the community here. That's what we do.